Society pushes raise strong, good men. Meanwhile, where's the outcry? Raise good women to be wives. I mean, this whole feminist movement just basically rebranded toxicity and threw some fake lashes on it. When a woman is acting selfish, we call it self-love. When a woman acts bitter, we call it healing. When a woman dresses provocatively, when she's disrespectful to men, hating, bashing men, we call it empowerment.
Facts.
And spoiler alert, accountability isn't emotional abuse. It's called growth. I mean, think about this one. If a man cheats, oh, what a dirty dog. He's a POS. He is this, he is that. If a woman cheats, we just say, what did he do to her to make her do that? I couldn't imagine being a man dating right now because you women exhaust me. And I'm sorry to break it to you, sis, but delusion is not a love language.
Yeah, I don't even think it has anything to do with dating. I just think that that's just the way that women are in general. Like from your mother to your grandmother, and hopefully it doesn't go down into your daughters. But I just think that the lack of accountability, I was looking at a woman talking about how black women, and I actually did a review video on it, but I was looking at a woman talking about how black women, they feel like, are under attack by the Trump administration for layoffs because they can't find jobs. So wait a minute, you telling me that y'all the most educated? That's not true. But the most enrolled, the most in debt, the most degrees. Just a few weeks ago, y'all was talking about how there's a lack of black men in college. And so you're not an example of the thing that you advocated for the freedom to choose for yourself, but you won't take responsibility for your lack of empathy, sympathy, choosing the wrong curriculum, also breaking up your home, can't work the hours that men can work because you decided to be a single mother. And you don't take ownership of the fact that you are ruining your sons, ruining your daughters, raising women to be masculine, raising men to be feminine. But it all is going to come back to the father who you chose when you skipped over the man that you were supposed to marry. Got it. And then even when you get with that step crash dummy, I was doing another video because I think it was down in Dallas. No, it was in Atlanta, where the stepson killed the stepfather, the step crash dummy. And then y'all are sitting there telling me that men should go ahead and play another man's save game. I have never personally seen most women. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a woman take accountability. Not an adult woman, anyways. I'm not sure. The interesting thing about it is that we even think that the ones that are unicorns, the ones that are so great, the ones that are so awesome, they've just learned to be quiet and not express themselves, or they're not as visible. And so we don't get to see, what they really think. One of the people that I admire the most from as far as a woman that's out here that's attached to her husband, and I think that she's not celebrated enough, is Savannah James. And when she started to drop that podcast, I think she stopped doing it. They might even deleted it. I'm not sure. But she had started to do a podcast, and it was a bunch of women that was encouraging it, like, yeah, go. I want to hear her truth and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, don't do it. Don't ruin it. Don't mess up the brand. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Just be quiet. Because the minute that you start talking, it's going to start getting ugly, and we're going to realize that, the minute that you start opening up your mouth, you're going to confirm what we already had put on other women that didn't know what they was talking about. And so we stopped hearing about that. But I think that Savannah James is absolutely awesome because she's a help meet. She plays a role. But when you start elevating women to positions that men usually or traditionally hold, the problem is not that they're not adequate or they're not good enough to do the job, but they don't also take responsibility of their inadequacies or their mistakes or their bad decisions. And when something happens, it's, oh, I can't believe it. Oh, but what about her background? I was looking at Cassie, right? I don't see Cassie the same way that everybody else sees Cassie. Everybody else sees Cassie as a victim. I see Cassie as a co-conspirator. I see Cassie as a participant. I see Cassie as a person that benefited from the lifestyle, did some of the most egregious things, made the threats, made the phone calls, did the freak offs, volunteered herself as tribute because she knew that it would benefit her lifestyle. And then when the rubber met the road, cheated the whole time, even cheated on her current husband with going back to her former guy, Diddy. And then when the rubber met the road and she left, and then they start going broke because they didn't have any more resources, they went back to the sugar daddy. They went back to the well. And so this is one of the reasons why you see Puffy under arrest. Now, I don't look at Puff and say, yeah, he a good guy or anything. I just don't think that he should be convicted based off of what they're trying to charge him with. Yep, he freaked off. Yep, he did eat. Yep, they was in a domestic violence dispute. They should have filed charges. But she never filed a criminal complaint. She filed a civil suit. And now you see all of these people that came out the woodwork that wanted to be attached to Diddy, Dawn Richards, and now they want money, and so they bitter, and at the same time they want to go and lash out. I see it happening in family court law. I see it happening on the internet. I see it happening with women on TikTok. You know what you never see women do on social media? Ever say, man, I was wrong. I seen one woman yesterday, and I started to do a review video, and I still might, and she said, I ruined my son. Tell me if y'all seen this video in y'all algorithm. I ruined my son because he's going to jail and I'm watching everybody else's kids go to college. And you know what I seen inside of the comments? Because it don't just be women supporting women. It be some super simps. Like, simps are a scourge to the earth also. We'll get to that in a different video. But you did the best you can, mama, and all of this. These people don't even know her. They don't know what she did to that kid. They don't know how that kid was raised. They don't know what was the family dynamic. They don't know if the father ever tried to take control of none of that stuff. You probably did the best you can, mama. Now let a guy do that. Because remember, we equal now, right? Or we working towards that. Now let a guy do that, and you know what? You probably was abusive. You too hard. You should have did gentle parenting. And again, honestly, I'm done trying to convince women. I am using people as an example to illustrate whether you've done well or you've done bad. People are going to have to pick up the pieces and figure it out for themselves. And I'm talking about both online as a content creator and in real life. I'm not saving nobody from themselves. I'm not trying to convince people to do anything differently. Revelation has to come through God at this point. It can't come through me. I'm not the one. I'm not participating. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with people. I'm chilling. I'm not going to be manipulated. I'm not going to be finessed unless I want to be finessed. That's a whole nother conversation. But my point is just that I think that the lack of accountability and responsibility is the thing that's keeping y'all back. It's the same thing with the black community. The reason why I believe that women and the black community still find themselves running in the victim Olympics is largely because they are not held accountable. Accountability to a child is to give them responsibility and dominion over their life so that they stop doing things that they're not supposed to do and do it because it's the right thing to do, not just so that they don't get in trouble. Let me say that again. Accountability, even for children, the reason why we discipline our children is because we want them to fail in a controlled environment, learn the lesson, make the adjustment so that the world don't kick their ass when they get out there, when they get older. But we don't even do that with grown adults. We don't even do that with women. We don't even do that with our mimas, our grandmothers. They've been destroying families since before you was born. Your father might not even be your real father. And we say, you know what? But what was the circumstance that she was facing? Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Millionaire Morning Show this morning. That's going to be popping. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. And I'm going to put a link to the description or in the description of the person, of the content creator, because I always like to give credit. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.